Hey guys, Freeman here from Team Rec, coming at you with a deck profile that I took to locals over this past weekend. It was our first local of the new format, so I wasn't really too sure on exactly what to play. Since the deck I was playing, which was Prank Kids, got hit, and I didn't think that deck was playable anymore, so I ended up just playing Invoked. Ended up losing in the round 5 finals. A little unfortunate, ended up losing to Live Twins, who won the whole tournament. So, yeah. Guess I'll just go ahead and go ahead with the profile here. So it's pretty standard Invoked. Like I said, it was a new format. Didn't really know what to play. I didn't want to play Despia. I also don't really have the Despia stuff. And I was assuming there'd be a lot of Despia on the room, which there actually was not. A lot of people were playing like some of the newer cards from Dimension Force. And just a lot of Rogue. That's typically what our locals is filled with. So it's really hard to side deck, and especially like know what hand traps to main deck, because you just never know what you're going to play against at our locals. But anyway, getting right into it, pretty standard Invoked stuff. We have our 3 Alistair, one of our best normal summons. We have the 3 Meltdown to go along with it, and the Terraforming, just to kind of give us 7 Alistairs in the deck. Terraforming is like kind of okay, just because if you Terraforming into Meltdown and then get rolled, you're pretty much just passing your turn, which happened one time, which really sucks, but I think it's worth playing the 7th copy. And then playing 2 Invocation, not 1, not 3. It's a 40 card main deck. I do not really want to draw this card, but I also don't want to only have 1. So I figured 2 was just the best number, and it's pretty standard. So to go along with the Invoke stuff, we're also playing the Dogmatika packages, just because this is really good synergy, and also just good extenders. And these cards are just pretty good on their own. So we're playing the 3 Ecclesia, which is pretty standard. I'm playing the 1 Fleur and the 1 Maximus. Now, going into the weekend, I wasn't sure if I even wanted to play Maximus, but I ended up going with it anyway. I was thinking about playing the 2nd Fleur, just because Fleur's really good, just having a negate, as well as just having a body, and it has a really good effect to gain attack when you attack. But I ended up playing the Maximus. Didn't play against any Despia branded decks or anything like that, so I was able to do this pretty comfortably. I never did it blind. But the thing about locals is you usually know what people are playing by the 1st or 2nd round, just because people talk and you know what everyone's playing that day. So I was pretty easy to use Maximus this weekend. But if you are going completely blind, I would not activate Maximus on your first turn. Playing the double Nadir Servant, obviously it's at 2. This card's insane. Decided to play 2 Punishment just because I was assuming there'd be a lot of Rogue again, and Punishment's just really good. And there's a lot of good cards to dump in the extra deck to your graveyard. And then playing the 1 Schism to go along with it, just to set up Winda. If you manage to get this off first turn, Winda can often seal you a game. Then in addition to the Dogmatika and Invoked stuff, we're playing a very small branded engine, just 2 Fallen of Albaz, 3 Branded Fusion. I resolved this like maybe 3 times. The only real way to resolve it is hard draw Branded Fusion. I figured it was just a decent extender. I didn't really know what else to play. And the Branded Fusions, like Mirror Jade's a pretty good card to have in your deck. So I figured I would just play this. Again, I didn't really know what else to play. It was a pretty solid 5 cards. It worked out pretty well for me. You just need to be careful if you draw Alistair and Branded Fusion in the same hand, because you don't want to do your Alistair like typical link plays into like Almirage Secure Gardener, because then you can't activate your Branded Fusion. So you have to play it a little bit differently, because this will lock you into fusions for the turn. So that's just a heads up there. Be sure to not mess up your combos if you do draw both. But I'd probably play this again if I were to play this deck again. I mean, Branded Fusion is just a pretty disgusting card in the game right now, so any deck that can play it probably should. And even Fallen of Albaz isn't the worst card to draw, especially if you're assuming there's going to be a lot of Despia. And then going on to the hand traps, we played a very small amount. Went with 3 Ash just because I figured this is like a very standard hand trap that can hit pretty much anything in the format. It was pretty decent for me. I definitely play it again. It's also a fire for Purgatrio, which does come up because there aren't many fire targets in the game at the moment. So this definitely comes up. Playing 3 Imperm. This was Valor until like the day before locals. The only reason I switched to Imperm is 1, I already have a bunch of light targets for stuff like Invocation and Branded Fusion with all the Dogmatika stuff. And I was assuming there'd be like a decent amount of Rogue or Eldritch. And I wanted like be able to hold a trap in hand with my Mechaba in case I needed to negate something. Never came up, but that was kind of the theory behind it. So, I mean, I'd play Imperm again. It's pretty solid. And then I'm playing 2 Crows. This was Ghost Bell until the day before the tournament as well, but I just figured Crow was more versatile. I was actually playing 3 Crows until like 10 minutes before the tournament. I took out the third Crow for a change of heart because I didn't get one until like 10 minutes before the tournament. So that's kind of where that would have been. But would have been 3 Crows had I not played Change of Heart. And that's it for the hand traps. So I was only playing 8 hand traps. It worked out fine. No one at locals was really playing like crazy combo decks or anything like Dragon Link or anything like that. We are siding into more hand traps just in case. But the low hand trap count definitely works out. You want to see like your main engine pieces. You don't want to brick on hand traps. And a lot of decks right now don't really get, like, they get hit by hand traps, but they're not exactly very impactful. So you don't want to like just like, I don't know, Ghost Ogre or something, and then they just keep playing their turn. It just didn't seem very good to me. We are playing Triple Tactics Talent also at 3. This card was amazing all weekend. They have like their Griffin negates and stuff whenever they go first. So this is a great going first and second card. Helps break boards. It helps you play through hand traps. If you are going first, you can either draw 2, which is crazy, or you can look at their hand and rip cards. I would definitely play this again, probably at 3 as well. It's just a really good card. And then I was playing 1 Droplet, 2 Chalice. The main reason for this, going second, these cards are good. I only have 1 Droplet, that's why I was only playing 1. And I kind of just wanted more negates because I wasn't really sure what kind of boards people were going to be putting up. This card's pretty good going first and second. Going first, you could just set it and it kind of acts as a trap. And then going second, it helps you break boards pretty easily as well. And then the last 2 cards in the deck to make 40, just 2 good cards. Change of Heart just came off the ban list. This card was disgusting for me all weekend. Change of Heart on Appaloosa won me a game. And then Called by the Grave. This card should probably be banned. Just how good this card is. Moving on to the extra deck, we have the standard 2 links. We have the Almirage Secure Gardena. This just helps Link Climb make Mechaba first turn if you don't draw your Branded Fusion. That's pretty much the standard Invoked line that everyone knows by now. In terms of Invoked Fusions, we're playing double Mechaba. The second one never actually came up, so I don't know if I'd ever play 2 again. But there's pretty decent amount of flex space in the extra deck, so there's really no reason not to. We're playing the Purgatrio. This card came up a couple times to just clear entire boards and go for game. Definitely would never cut Purgatrio. And then we're playing the 1 Agoides. This card is absolutely nuts. I would consider even playing a second one of this. This card is just so disgusting. A lot of people don't know that you can actually use the effect on their turn when they special summon to pop their card. So that came up like 2 or 3 times. And then just going for game with this card's crazy. And that's it for the Invoked Fusions, just the 4. Pretty much, you're always making Mechaba if you're going first. And Purgatrio is good going second, as is Agoides. So those are the pretty standard ones. 2 Shadal Fusions. We're playing the Winda and the Apkalone. Apkalone just gets dumped off of Nadir's Servant or Punishment or whatever, right? And then Winda we summon off the Schism to try to lock people out of games. Winda people 3 times this weekend, so it was pretty good. Playing the double Elder Entity Natis just to go with the Punishment, just to get 2 pops. This card's really good. And then into the branded stuff, we're playing the Titanclad just to get the end phase search. Playing the 1 Mirror Jade, double Albion. And then our last card is a Super Poly target because we are siding Super Poly, just the Predaplant Dracos Tapelia. Going forward, if I were to continue to play this deck, I would cut something and play the 1 Lubellion. Just because it did come up where there was times where I couldn't actually use Mirror Jade's effect because I didn't have any more valid targets to send from the extra deck because you have to send a Fallen of Albaz fusion, and I had none left. So those were the more grindier games, but it definitely came up, so I'd probably cut something for the Lubellion. And also having the option to fuse with a Dark would have came up a lot with the Fallen of Albaz normal summon, so I definitely regret not playing the Lubellion. I might actually cut Super Poly and cut the Dracos Tapelia and put it there. So yeah, 15 card extra. And then the side deck, again, I didn't really know what the format was going to be. We just got Dimension Force, we just got the ban list. Locals is always full of Rogue, so I just went with kind of what I thought would be decent. I went with the 3 Gammas and the Driver, obviously. Sided these cards in every time I went second. Didn't see them a single time, so I can't really say whether they were good or bad, but you know, normally Gamma's pretty decent going second. Evenly matched. This card won me a lot of games. People are just setting cards. Open double evenly against like a Brave token board setup, and they have to keep the token even though they have the 1 negate, so Even Lead for like 7 cards. Yeah, Evenly's just generally good going second, especially against rogue decks, so I definitely play Evenly again. To go along the same line of thinking, we're playing Triple Twin Twisters. Never saw this card, cited in a decent amount, but again, Twin Twisters is pretty decent. I was thinking Cosmic instead. Ended up playing Twin Twisters just because I wanted to be able to pop 2, but Cosmic might be better just because you want all your cards in hand, so definitely more playtesting needed there. Playing Triple Droll. Cited this card in one time against Libromancers, didn't see it. Other than that, I don't think it would have been too good. Yeah, I don't know if I'd play this again. I don't really know what the format's going to look like, though. And then the last 2 cards are the 2 Super Polys. And, yeah, didn't side these in at all, so never saw them. So that's pretty much it for the deck profile. Again, I did lose in the final round. Ended up getting top 4. Losing to Evil Twin. Matchups, we played round 1, Sword Soul was a 2-0. Round 2, we played against Adventurer Trap Trick. That was a 2-1. Round 3, played against Libromancer. That was a draw. Or it was like Adventurer Libromancer. I didn't really know what the cards did. Basically, if they went first, they set up Scythe Lock, and that's pretty tough to play through, obviously. Then round 4, we played against Heroes. That was a 2-0. And then the final round, we lost to Live Twins 0-2. We got double hand trapped every game. So this is not a good deck for playing through double hand trap because you often only have like 1 extender. So is what it is. Going forward, I will probably play this deck one more weekend, just kind of test it out, see how it does. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Team Wreck Yu-Gi-Oh channel.